Hi, my name is Dr. Nubi K. Reeves, Doctor of Divinity. I am a cosmoson of the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, the divine order of the Sons of the Green Light, which is the spiritual order for the Nubian Islamic Hebrews. My rabbi is Rabbi Yokel, who is called the heart and tongue, which means that he possesses the reason and power, sound right reasoning to utter divine words, and hence is called divine wisdom. He has in his possession the coveted scriptures called the sardius stone, the ruby stone, the emerald stones, and the Akasha records. He is the master teacher of priests and physicians, the keeper of the records of existence and destiny, and the renewal of all history, which comes every 24,000 years. He is the personification of divine intellect, Lord of divine words and words of power. Today's lecture is coming from his vast wealth of knowledge that has been documented since 1970. To differentiate, when I am using his words verbatim, I will indicate to let you know these are his words, not mine. I am merely a conveyor of the message. As you will see, his wisdoms are still pertinent in 2020 as they were in 1970. The Bible was, is, and will be a holy book. So any information coming from the Bible should never be deemed as offensive or hate speech. That would be blasphemy, wouldn't it? So let's jump right into our topic for today, people. Rabbi Yokel teaches us from the sapphire stone. And he says, O Melaninite children, my child, melanin was a gift to you from your parents, the Anunnaki Elohim, and the scientists that protect it, melanin, and they do not kill. The residents of Shambhala and Agharta called the benevolent ones. This gift being the finest of refined chemicals known to your species speaking, it was given to you, the Melaninite children, being that you were procreated as a new being, Nubian. It dwells in your very essence and in your environment. The melanin that is throughout your body is the same thing that colors this planet, now called Earth. The very thing that colors the bark on trees brown and the soil of the earth and everything that live, and the fowl of the air and the fish of the sea. Know that it does not matter what color your skin appears to be. Know that all genes in all creatures on this very planet Earth, known as Gaia, the living organism, have melanin. For all things are coded with melanin. Melanin is the most ancient and worldwide pigment in living organisms. It is found in abundance in the original organisms such as fungi, as well as advanced primates. Thus, within each and every living organism, melanin appears in that which is the human body, all parts that allow it to function, such as in vertebrates. It not only dwells in the skin, eyes, ears, central nervous system, pineal gland, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, and the parathyroid gland. It is also found abundantly in the inner parts of the body, including the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, intestines, the arteries, the muscles, the gastrointestinal tract, and the gonads. Melanin controls all mental and physical body activities. Melanin is an extremely stable molecule and highly resistant to digestion by most acids and bases. As one of the hardest molecules to ever be analyzed, and is one of the hardest molecules to be ever analyzed. If you doth not purify your melanin molecule that lays within you, you will not heal your body of ailments. It is vitamin B that keeps melanin clean within you. Know that it manifests as pigmentations in the skin. It appears as different shades and hues, colors from black to brown, from red to yellow to white. It is the amino acids tyrosine found in each strain of your DNA that controls the hue or shade of color. Thus, there are 6 different types of melanin-carrying beings that are known to you. They are of different hues, from very dark brown to the blackest of blacks. They are found in the depths of the land of Nubia, called Africa today, and in the land of the frogs, called North America. They live near the equator. From the land of Kemet, where the original Nubians, those of the black hue, do dwell. From Kush, the land of the original Ethiopians, those of the green hue. From Nigerians, those of the brown hue. From the Bushmen of Zimbabwe, those of the yellow hue. From the Sudanese, those of the copper tone, reddish brown hue. To the American blacks. To the American blacks. Because of mixing, who mixed with the original Hopi tribes, the Moors are the real Native Americans. The Moors are the real Native Americans. Who are the ancient Nubians who crossed over to Atlan, also called Aztlan, from the word Utla, meaning vacation, before the division of the continents, which was caused by the landing of the central mothership. All the continents formed a single land mass called Pangaea. About 2 million years ago, Pangaea began to break up into continents, which began to drift towards their present locations. Me speaking now. Black people were already here in America 2 million years ago. Proof of this are the huge, gigantic Olmec heads we carved out of gigantic granite boulders and the pyramid complexes we built in Central America. So, all the invaders and aliens, all the invaders that came after Columbus are in our country, fool. We are already home. Make the Caucasus Mountains between the Black and the Caspian Seas great again. That's your country. Speaking. So the Moors also mixed in with the cursed seed of Canaan. Let me repeat that. The Moors also mixed in with the cursed seed of Canaan. Canaan, the Caucasians. Thus, there are certain climates that change these descendants of the Halabians, flugel rods, into different hues, such as red or brown. Yet, they can be easily distinguished from the original Nubians. They can be easily distinguished from the original Nubians. Who range in hues from brown to red to yellow. The wrongly called Negro varies in all the above, all producing an abundance of melanin in your skin, speaking. And in most cases, wrinkling doth not become a factor until the age of 60. And this inheritance of melanin is inherited from generation to generation. Again, you have a Caucasian who has blonde hair and blue eyes, descendants from the Hulub flugel rods. These Hulub flugel rods are now living beneath a cavern in the Antarctic. They are the fathers of the Nordic race, not to be confused with the Canaanites. With the Canaanites, whose leprosy is the result of the curse of albinism cast upon Ham, by the father of Canaan, by Utnapishtim, called Noah, after the craft that rested down on the surface of the earth after the waters deceased or decreased. The albino seed name comes from the sea Albion. Also called White Island. It is in the land of the Saxons and the Angelicals, called Britain today. Britain. These Hulub flugel rods are originally from the Aldebaran star constellation and the Pleiades. They produce extremely low levels of melanin. And what is the importance of this thing called melanin. Speaking, the melanin pigment is responsible for the color of the skin. When melanin does not appear in the skin, it is a deficiency. However, this has nothing to do with the amount of in your brain called neuromelanin and the rest of your organs. For instance, albinos, you still have certain levels of melanin in their skin, arteries, and liver, although they lack it in their skin. This deficiency comes about because of the absence of melanocytes, that which synthesizes. The melanin is deficient, which interferes with the journey of pigment cells to a developing embryo. The deficiency of tyrosine, which is a copper-containing enzyme that works as a catalyst or vehicle, that causes the production of melanin and other pigments from tyrosine. These cells, called melanocytes, are responsible for all the colors of the hair, from yellow to black. Know that hair turns gray when the melanocytes die. There are different textures of hair. 6 ether to 9 ether. Hair can be straight. 6 ether meaning 6-point melanin. Wavy, 7 1/2 point melanin. 7 1/2 point melanin. Or kinky, 9-point ether, and melanin is in that kinky or kingly hair that was given to you from your parents, the Anunnaki. Elohim. Are you listening, people? Then there are those who are albinos. This genetic disorder, albinism, is a group of genetic disorders affecting 1 out of every several thousand humans and other animals. The first being Canaan. The first being Canaan. His curse was the removal of the divine, which was the reduction of melanin, thus cutting off his family ties with the Elohim. Do you follow? He transformed into a son of the Elohim to a son of Samael, the devil. For you that are born an albino, if both your parents are albinos, then you can only be an albino. This is because your parents does not possess any of the dominant genes, male and female. Albinism, if carried in the genes of 2 Nubians, male and female, will produce an albino offspring. Mixing of your seed depletes your melanin. The Anunnaki took residence in Arcturus, the original home of the Terrors. The Terrors. They're real. Here go Terror. The Terrors, who were copper-toned in hue. When the Anunnaki, who are olive green tone in hue, this mixture is why the Anunnaki appear copper tone in hue. This mixture took place 7,000 years ago. Eating improper foods Or overeating overloads your body as well. Overeating overexerts all the organs in the body just to digest the food. Which is why you shouldn't eat after a certain time, 9 p.m. Because it keeps the body constantly working when it should be resting. Then your connection is blocked. Thus disease manifests. Melanin is deranged only when it becomes toxic. And any individuals who might have toxic melanin will act in a similar manner. That which is primitive, animalistic, and barbaric. This is why there is a great, listen people, this is why there is a great concentration on drugging the Nubian of the Western world. Let me repeat that. What Dr. Yokel is saying. This is why there is a great concentration on drugging the Nubian blacks of the Western world. Are you listening, people? Melanin has properties or physical properties and personality traits which distinguish it from others. Melanin smells sweet. Your body is dedicated to making melanin, which has 9 substances of its own. As long as, and this is, as you eat reasonably. Speaking, wake up my child, for the time is near. Mint tea. Nuaobu. The liberation forces of Nubians, new beings, by nature is 9 ether, whose scientific name will be disclosed in the science of Nuaobu. 9 ether is the original creative forces. 9 ether grew form, 9 to the 9th power of 9, a symbol of beyond infinity. It supposes the so-called Jew, who is considered the head and chosen by the God of the Caucasian race, because the Jew have at least 1,000 years of universal knowledge, culture, and know-how on the other Caucasians. And thereby the Jew are richer, wiser, more observing, and more deceptive than any of the other Tamahu, Caucasian, and they are the Aryan race. So, 9 ether is 9 to the 9th power of 9, containing all, both agreeable and disagreeable, good and evil. The original melaninite, dark-skinned, woolly-haired Moors personified by both sound and electric energy, electromagnetic. This they manifested from the Great Circle. This they manifested from the Great Circle and throne of wisdom, Nibiru, to this meager place, Earth. chimpanzees, and gibbons evolved into humans. And they became the Nubians. The pygmy tribe. Their woolly hair comes from the supreme beings, with 24 strains of genes coded in melanin. These are the original Anunnaki Elohim, the guardians of Nubians with 9 ether, who in skin color were olive, as green as the greenest of olives. Now, let us turn our attention to the King James Version of the Bible. Yeshua, Isa, Jesus made it clear that he was not interested in all the other tribes of people during that time, but only excuse me, I have to put the pictures because a picture paints 1,000 words. So let me repeat that. Yeshua, Isa, Jesus made it clear, this is Jesus, that he was not interested, this is Jesus also, called Sananda, one of the 24 elders, Sandalphon. So he made it clear that he was not interested in all the other tribes of people during that time, but only the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All throughout the Bible, Elohim God made covenants with men such as Abraham, Abraham, who made the male servant of his house, Eliezer, Genesis 15:2, swear by the Yahayu Lord not to mix his blood or the blood of his seed with that of Canaan, Caucasians. With that of Canaan, Caucasians, because those people are cursed. Genesis 24:3. Eliezer was told to go back to his country, which is Chaldea, which had black-skinned inhabitants, Syrians or Ashuric, Genesis 10:21 and 22, and take a wife for his Abraham's son Isaac, Genesis 14:4. This shows that Abraham was firm in his covenant with Elohim God and had no intentions of Canaanites marrying into his family, Genesis 24:3. This covenant was reinforced by Isaac, son of Abraham, to his son Jacob in Genesis 28:1. After Isaac's wife Rebekah made him think that their son Jacob was going to take a wife of the daughters of Heth. Take a wife of the daughters of Heth. Heth. Genesis 27:46. The second son of Canaan. Genesis 10:15. Who was cursed? Genesis 9:25. Why he was cursed? Leviticus 18:7 and Genesis 9:21 with leprosy, where his skin turned white, Leviticus 13:4 and 13:10, and his hair became thin, Leviticus 13:30 through 36. Thin hair is straight hair, and yellow hair is blonde hair. Leviticus also speaks of freckles. In Leviticus 13:39, get a shot of all the sons of Canaan. And that is old leprosy, not new leprosy. Leviticus 13:11. Now, was this racism? Was this racism? No. The prophets were abiding. No. The prophets were abiding. Prophet Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Cush, Noah. They were abiding with the laws that Elohim God gave them. Elohim God did not intend for the cursed Canaanite Caucasian